Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to solve an absolute value equation or an inequality. So, I brought up this really quick equation that we can do here. It's x plus 3, all in the absolute value equals 4. There's two types of numbers that can go into an absolute value and come out positive. A positive comes out as a positive and a negative comes out as a positive. Therefore, once you move everything away from the absolute value, all you have to do is set it equal to the positive 4 and the negative 4, because this is what equals to positive 4 when it comes out of the absolute value. So I'm going to minus 3, and then I'm going to have x equal to 1, and I'm going to minus 3, and I'm going to have x equal to negative 7. Those are both my solutions. You can check your work by just plugging it back in. You can say negative 7 plus 3, does that equal to 4? Negative 4, does the absolute value of negative 4 equal 4? It sure does. And then you can plug in a 1. We can actually just see that right here. 1 plus 3 is 4, and the absolute value of 4 is 4. So these both work. So that's how we do an equal sign. Once again, the most important thing is to get everything away from the absolute value sign. Let's do an inequality. Absolute value of x plus 3 is less than 4. Remind yourself that if you get confused between less than and greater than, this almost looks like an L. Okay, everything is moved away, so it's the same story. X plus 3 is less than 4. And x plus 3, now I got to do something really tricky here. I'm going to have to change the arrow to greater than negative 4. I'm going to minus 3. I'm going to have x is less than 1. I'm going to minus 3. And I'm going to have, let me take this off because that's actually not a true statement. Okay, minus 3 on both sides. I'm going to have x is greater than negative 7. Now here's how we figure this stuff out. You put the negative 7 here and the number 1 here on a number line. Okay? Look at where this is telling the 1 to point. It's saying, hey, point this way. And this is telling the 7, or the negative 7 rather, to point this way. This red that I'm shading in, all of these are possible x values. So all I have to do is put a less than in between them and then put x, because these are where x's are. So why don't we pick a number between negative 7 and 1? I hope everybody said 0. If you choose 0, 0 is a number between negative 7 and 1. Let's see if that makes this expression, this equation rather, true. 0 plus 3 is less than 4. Is 3 less than 4? Absolutely. No pun intended. So my answer is negative 7 is less than x is less than 1. These are all my x's, so I just put a smack right in the middle of negative 7 and 1. Once again, the most important thing is to move everything away from the absolute value. Let's try one more. Same exact story, but now it says greater than, okay? So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to write it exactly the way it looks, and then less than and the negative of it. I'm going to add 5 to both sides, and I have x is greater than 9. I'm going to add 5 to both sides. I'm going to have x is less than 1. Once again, for inequalities, no matter what class you're taking, inequalities, you should put a number line. I'm going to put a 1 and 9 here. These are both open circles because it's just less than and greater than, not less than and equal to, or greater than or equal to. It's saying, hey, for the 9, I want you to point this way. And it's saying, look, for the x less than 1, point this way. So therefore, my x is this right here, this blue, and my x is this blue. So x is going to actually be less than 1, or we can put a union, x is greater than 9. I think some teachers will allow you to put the word or. And guess what, everyone? This is great or. So we know it's going to go one way or the other. If you want to check it, pick a number less than 1, 0. Okay? 0 minus 5 is negative 5. The absolute value of negative 5 is 5. 5 is bigger than 4. Great. Pick a number bigger than 9. 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. The absolute value of 5 is 5, and that's greater than 4. Wonderful. Now, just a few more because these are going to get a little challenging. You can never ever do this problem until everything is moved away from the absolute value, okay? So what I want everyone to do is just think of this as guards, and you got to move everything away from them. So plus 3, just like a regular equation. That gives you 12. Divide by 2. And then, I'm not going to do this one, but basically all you have to do, now this is not a range of answers because it says equal. Okay? And then so your answer would be 2 and your answer would be negative 10, and then you can check it up here and they should both work. But you gotta move everything away from the absolute value sign before you start doing equals 6 and equals negative 6. Always equal to this and the opposite. Now, this here, same exact story, everyone. I gotta move everybody away. Then I'm gonna divide by a 5. And then I get x minus 4, keep the absolute value, is less than 4. Once again, you do less than, and then you do greater than, and then negative. You're going to add 4 to both sides. You're going to get 8. You're going to add 4 to both sides. You're going to get 0. Make your number line for inequalities. Here's 0. Here's 8. This is saying x is greater than 0. That's these numbers, right? Bigger than 0 is 1, 2, 3. And x is less than 8. 7, 6, 5, 4. And so they overlap. Since this is my solution, you put the x in between them. And here's my final one. Okay, this is the hardest one that I can come up with, but it's really not. You're going to add 1. And I'm sure your algebra teachers who taught you this told you, anytime you divide by a negative, like I'm doing here, I must, for inequalities, I must change this arrow to this way, and then negative 4. I'm not going to explain why because I'm just showing you in this video how to do it. Now, you're done here. So now you're going to go 5 minus 2x is greater than negative 4. 5 minus 2x is less than positive 4. Okay, so a couple of things are happening here. I'm going to minus 5. Negative 2x is greater than negative 9. Once again, look what I'm going to do here. I'm dividing by a negative. So you're trying to say, Dr. Rabadi, that it has to switch back? Absolutely. Minus 5, negative 2 is less than negative 1. Divide by a negative. It's only when you divide by a negative you switch your arrows around. Okay? Now, pick a number that's bigger than a half. Okay? The number 1 is bigger than a half. Let's see what happens here. 2 times 1 is 2. 5 minus 2 is 3. Absolute value of 3 is 3. Times a negative 4 is a negative 12. Minus 1 is a negative 13. That's less than 15. So this person works. And then x is less than 9 halves. 9 halves is 4.5. So pick 4 and see if that works. So I hope this was helpful, everyone. Ask any questions, leave comments, like the video, and all that good stuff. Have a great day.